Hi everyone, this video is a walkthrough of one of my favorite templates that I've been consistently using to keep track of my reading journey. So one goal that I set for myself at the beginning of 2022 is to replace screen time with more reading time and to consistently read to become more eloquent. Because of this goal that I set for myself, reading has now become a safe space and a healthy habit for me to unwind and distress. At the beginning, one way to keep me accountable was this exact template. So if you're a bookworm or just starting out on your reading journey, take this template as your accountability buddy and a space to acknowledge your growing knowledge. So without further ado, let me show you around. The first thing you'll see on this dashboard are these 4 buttons here, and these act as shortcut to your new book, reading session, highlight, and word databases. This is especially convenient if you are using this template on your phone. The next thing you'll see is this call-out box where you can simply write down any of your reading goals. So for this year, my goal is to read 20 books by the end of the year. And I think I'm currently on track based on the 2 widgets I have below the call-out boxes. The first is a simple countdown till the end of the year. And the second is a counter widget that lets you manually press the number of books you have read so far. Next, you'll see a linked database to your current reads, and I'm reading one book right now. And below it are your tracking databases, which includes your books database, your reading, word bank, highlights, as well as your glossary databases. So let's go ahead and click on our first database now, which is books. In your books database, this holds all the books that you have collected on your reading journey, from physical books to digital, or even the books that you have borrowed. So let's click on one of the entries now. This is the book that I'm currently reading. So there's quite a few properties in this database, and I'll be elaborating on them. So the first property is your book cover, which is a files and media property. Let me show you how to add this book cover right now. So what you can do is you can copy and paste the name of your book on Google. I click on images and find a clear photo of the book cover. I then right click and copy the image address. Going back to our template, you could embed the link, paste the link, and your book cover is added in here. The next property is a multi-select property for your authors, as sometimes there can be more than one author that has written this book. So I just key in the authors of this book here. The type is whether the book is a physical or digital book. The next is your summary property, which is a text property. And using AI, I can actually just find the summary of the book. A simple Google search can also find the number of pages, or you could just make reference to your book to know how many pages there are. I've started reading the book on February the 2nd, and this is where I key in the date where I first started reading it, followed by the status. Next is your genres. So what is the category of the book that you're currently reading? And this is actually a relations property to your glossary page. The next 2 properties here, your pages read and progress, is related to your reading database. And this is actually filled up automatically and tracks your progress of your book through your reading sessions. I'll elaborate on it more later. And once you have ended the book, the next properties let you rate it from 1 to 5. And the last property is a simple checkbox where you can mark it complete. Going down to the template here, you can see that your quotes and reading are a page section, followed by quotes and highlights of the book and a notebook page to jot down your thoughts while you're reading it. So the next database we'll be going through is your reading annotation database. And this is where you create a new entry for every reading session that you will have. Going to the first entry, let's explore what's in each page. So the preset reading session template is already a default template. That means that whenever you create a new page, it automatically creates this new template here. So there are a few properties in this page. The first is the books property. It is a relation to your book database. So what you can do is you can select the book that you are reading from the books database. The next is your date, where you can include the date of when you first read, and at the end, when did you finish reading the book. The next property is your pages read, and this is a number property where you can include the number of pages that you have read during this reading session. And the last two properties are your pages per minute and hours, and this is automatically filled for this template. As you can see, this preset template includes codes in your page section, which is also a linked database in your page content, as well as vocabulary, and these are all related to the book that you are currently reading. So right now, let me show you how to complete one reading session. So this is an entry that I have completed today, and what I do is I click on the date of my reading session. I include the end date and include the time. So I started reading the book at 8 a.m. and I've completed my reading session at 9 a.m. So this is where I key it in. The pages that I read would be 50 pages, and the properties below has been automatically filled because of the inputs that I put in. While reading, I might have some notes or annotations, and this is where I could include them in. So going back to the main dashboard, you will see that the progress of the book has increased from 50% to 74%. And the progress of the book is basically determined by your reading sessions. The next database we'll be going through is your word bank. And your word bank is basically the vocabulary you have come across while reading your books. So let's click on the first entry right now. The properties in your word bank are a few. So the first is the related book, followed by the definition of the word in a sentence, as well as synonyms of the word that you have come across. There's also the glossary property if it is relevant to you. The next database is where you find your annotations of your different books, and that is under key highlights. By clicking on a new entry, the different templates actually provide you with common annotation tags like highlighting important excerpts, identifying your main ideas, and maybe passages that you enjoyed while reading this book. You can click on the relevant tags or add more if you desire. So by clicking on one of the preset templates, for example, main idea, it automatically adds the tag. So the rest of the properties includes the books and books cover property. You can select the book in your books database, and actually this automatically creates the book cover for you. The next is your page location in which your excerpt can be found, followed by the glossary's relation, if relevant, and the tag, which is automatically filled in once you select the preset template. Last but not least, we have our glossary database. And this is a space to share genres and topics you have accumulated along the way. So as you can see, there are some glossary tags that have already been created, and this was done when you fill in your books database. So for example, under biography, you can see the relevant books in the same genre. So for now, we have the Tales of the Tea Trade book here. So genre means the categorization of your books, while topics can include themes that were explored in your books. So the thing about this glossary database is you usually don't add information directly, and this is basically an overview of all the genres and topics you have come across while reading. So this is the end of the Smart Book Tracker walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed this journey with me. This template is a comprehensive and user-friendly approach to tracking your reading journey. It provides tools for setting and achieving your reading goals, a space for you to annotate, and also to accumulate your vocabulary along the way. Whether you are a seasoned bookworm or just starting out the journey like me, I hope this template can serve as your accountability buddy and a space to celebrate your expanding knowledge. So if you have any questions, you could write it down in the comments below. And if you're interested in this template, the link to this template is also in the description below. So thank you for listening, and I hope to see you guys soon.